Are liberals truly that stupid? More coming up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. Welcome. The Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast for the 20th of November, 2014. Good question, wasn't it? I mean, seriously. Far left liberal fascists, and that's what they are, they think that the rest of us are completely stupid. They think that, everything that they do is completely right and for a good cause and, all this. They don't. Okay? Let me tell you this, and the reason why I'm saying all this, I had to unfriend someone on Facebook, which I'm sure you've done that several times yourself, but this person called a friend of mine, a lot of names, was bullying my friend on a post that I made. And this person was saying they were defending gay marriage. Well, excuse me, I defend people's right to choose for themselves who they want to love, who they want to be with, how they want to live their life. I'm not here pounding anything over anybody's head to make them change their point of view. All I'm saying is, hey, here's my opinion about it. And I'm showing you a map that shows you are here and several roads that you choose to take. That's entirely up to you. This gay marriage thing, same-sex marriage thing, I don't want it to be called a marriage. It's a civil union. That's the way it is. It's the massive amount of the gay community that wants to change the Constitution, wants to change the definition of marriage, all because of benefits. Did they not understand, or do they not understand that it's completely up to the business and their insurance provider that decides whether or not these people are going to get covered for benefits? It has nothing to do with the general public. But what they're trying to do is bully the general public into thinking that, or into moving into their direction as far as getting benefits. As far as I'm concerned, that same-sex couple could love one another and be with one another for years and years and years. And there's other ways other than the insurance companies for them to have benefits. I don't know what they are right now, but I'm sure they're smart enough to go and figure it out on their own. So if they want to be together, be together. Don't call it a marriage. Okay? I mean, who's in defense of gay marriage and who's against it? I don't even want to call it gay marriage. It's not even that. It's same-sex marriage. It's a couple loving one another, enjoying their time together, and being together as a couple. They just happen to be the same sex. So enjoy your life. Because I'm not here on this planet to judge you or your lifestyle. That's not my position. I'm not here to tell you what to do, what not to do, and all that. That's just ridiculous. That's just completely ridiculous. If something is stupid, I'm going to point it out and call people out on the carpet for it. But I don't think this is, because if you love your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, that's one thing. That's intimate. That's romantic. If you love your car, that's a totally different love. That's an affection for something, an attraction to something. If you love your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters, it's not like you're going to want to marry them. But if you love one another and you're with that person and you're of the same sex, what's the big deal? Is it hurting you? But it's wrong. Why are you sticking up for him? Is it bothering you? Obviously, it's a thorn in your side that's bothering you. But is it physically bothering you? Do they come over to your house and interrupt your flow of things you do during your day. No. I'm going to go to break. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. If you have any, if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, and even if you disagree with me, please let me know why. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. During the show, I'm going to give you a couple of other email addresses you can get me at, but that's the one I want you to send your information to. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. And I shall return right after this. American Liberty Radio Network. Sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a new world order, a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
Those who will learn nothing from history are condemned to repeat it. This we are doing in the Americas today.
We have a real chance at this new world order.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
Hey folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show right here for the 20th of November 2014. How are ya? Got a busy weekend coming up, and things are, well, let's just say, when you're challenged every day, if certain things happen and you're like, really? Come on, you can do better than that. Life throws you a couple of curveballs and you're like, seriously? Is that all you got? But it is what it is, and we go from there and we move on and we turn the page and we, write another chapter in our lives. And frankly, and I look at it this way, and there's a lot of things that I can say we can there's a lot of things that I can say we can be tolerant of, and there are certain things that we shouldn't be tolerant of. But I find that the more moral issues that we know are bad for society and culture, we're tolerating. The suffering or sufferable, yada, yada, yada. You know that part, right? You know how that works. And we see the things that are good for us, and when you see the things that work, that help us, that benefit us, being more politicized and suppressed, because you got to, if you are, well, I'll use this analogy. If you see something and you don't know exactly where it goes, you throw it into a niche. You throw it into a niche and you say, there you go. You pigeonhole it, is what I'm saying. And you say, that's where it goes. I don't know where it goes, but right now that's where that goes. So we're constantly moving things out of different pigeonholes and we're putting them elsewhere, and hopefully we can just, the goal would be to bring it down to 1, 2, or 3 areas and then, be more in control of what goes on in our lives. And that's true with anybody, but specifically with politics, this is what happens. And we're pigeonholed in these areas called conservative or liberal or or Democrat or Republican or whatever it may be, and we're pigeonholed in these things. And the fact of the matter is it doesn't matter. I mean, when you don't know what it is, your first thought is I don't know what this is, I'm going to put it over here. And you never get to it later. You never try to figure it out. You never try to learn from it. You never try to develop, a rapport with it, if that's, what the situation and circumstance calls for. You find yourself in a position of fearing what you don't understand. And what's the next step in that parade? To try and destroy it, to suppress it, to get it out of your life, to ignore it. If I ignore it, it'll go away. No, it won't. No, it won't. Remember when you were a kid and you were afraid of the dark, you'd put the covers over your head? Oh, like this big nasty creature's going to walk into your bedroom going, oh, I can't get them now. They got the covers over their head. They're in the safe zone. I can't do anything. It doesn't work that way. Just because you close your eyes doesn't mean the bad things are going to go away. They're still going to be there. They're just going to bite you in the ass later on. And this is why I believe that we should not have political parties in America. We shouldn't have parties at all. We shouldn't have political parties at all. I think that we should have people who work together in a very definitive way, in a very a defined way, for the goal of benefiting society, instead of sitting there and yelling at one another and trying to take control of the whole situation to make it your way. Well, no. There's two things that we need to do. We need to get rid of Congress. 535 people don't know what they're doing, and only one person wants to be in control. And it's pointless, folks. It's absolutely pointless. We don't need political parties. We don't need any of that. We need, citizens of the United States to come forward and prove their leadership, not just take money from corporations and buy their offices in Washington, D.C., because that's what they're doing, So it's like, what do we do? It's incredible how we politicize everything. We've politicized morality. Okay, and in that, we have taken and allowed the Supreme Court to legislate morality from the bench. Roe versus Wade, anyone? Yeah. And the incredible thing is years ago, the person that brought that to the forefront, she's now a born-again Christian fighting against abortion. So the irony of it all, you know what I mean? So we need to get rid of it. But we also need to use common sense laws that are already on the books to identify the immoral aspects of life and say, wait a minute, those decisions belong in the churches. Doesn't belong in Washington, D.C. Those moral issues belong in the churches. We need to work together with the communities to identify those immoralities and to strengthen the weakness, strengthen those who are weak, and, help those that are strong. Because you can't do it by yourself. If you're weak, you can do as much as you can, but your body will soon break down. Your ideas will soon break down. You can't do it alone. You need other people. You need the community and such. And that's, I believe that all moral issues need to be extracted from Washington, D.C. and put back in the churches, not in the churches of the Rand Corporation or the Rockefellers or all of that. The churches that you and I understand within ourselves what they are. In other words, the literal, I don't mean to preach here, but the literal church of God, which is, we are the temple. Does the Bible not say that your body is a temple? So let's treat it as such. So stop being so promiscuous and immoral. Let's take all of that out of Washington, D.C. and throw it into the churches and Allow them to do what must be done on that level. Now, switching back to politics. What is politics? What is the definition of politics? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to dictionary.com and I will tell you. I mean, seriously. Politics. Okay, if I can spell the damn word. The science or art of political government, the practice or profession of conducting political affairs. Let's go down here. To engage in political intrigue, take advantage of political situation or issue, resort to partisan politics, exploit a political system or political relationships. That's idioms. Play politics. That's one of those things there. Politics, functioning as singular, a practice or study of the art of science of forming, directing, and administrating states and other political units, the art and science of government, political science. It goes down the origin of the word, the word origin and history of politics, 1520s, quote-unquote, science of government, from politique, adjective modeled on Aristotle's Ta Politica, Affairs of the State, the name of his book on governing and governments, which was in English in the mid-1500s, and politiques, also politics, which is has a K on it, is the science of good sense applied to public affairs, and as those are forever changing, what is wisdom today would be folly and perhaps ruin tomorrow. Politics is not a science so properly as a business. It cannot have fixed principles from which a wise man would never swerve unless the inconsistency of men's view of interest and the capriciousness, I think is how you pronounce the word, capriciousness of the tempers could be fixed. That's CAPRICIOUSNESS. And that's from Fisher Ames, 1758 to 1808, meaning, quote, a person's political allegiances or opinions, unquote, is from 1769. So what is politics? What is it? Okay? It is, as it says here, use of intrigue or strategy to obtain any position of power or control, as in business, university. A treatise, the 4th century BC, by Aristotle, dealing with the structure, organization, and administration of state, especially the city-state as known in ancient Greece. So that's basically what it is two people or a group of people coming together saying, here's what we need, here's how we're going to structure this, here is, in other words, it's an overview, it's a plan, it's a strategy, it's, okay, we have the Army, we have the Navy, we have the Marines, we have the Air Force, we have the Coast Guard. Let's find out, and we have a government, let's find out what we can do to make these things work. And of course, there's a lot of other variables involved in that. But the facts of the matter is that politics, as we know it today, has become very partisan, very divided, and one wants to conquer over the other. Just because the Republicans took over the Senate and the House doesn't mean that things are going to get done of, by, and for the people. It's both parties have become co-opted by corporations. And that's why you have your lobbyists, you have your special interest groups, you have your insider trading, which is legal in Washington D.C. now. It's illegal, for you and I to do it, but it's legal for them. And you have your lobbyists and your other financial people on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And it is all about money. It is all about power. The more money you have, the more power you have. The less money you have, the less power you have. Because we handed our power, our political capital, if you will, to use that term from the Clinton era, and from the Bush era, we've spent our political capital, and now we're borrowing on somebody else's. Okay, which is the corporations, which is the foreign interests that we have, the foreign investments that are here, that gain them more money instead of building a society of a group of people in this group we call humanity into a better society and benefiting each other. The problem is we have narcissistic, intolerant liberals, is all I can call them. I can call them some other things too, like Marxist, fascist, socialists, and communists, who want to control the whole kit and caboodle of the United States. And the only reason why the politicians in Washington, D.C., or one specifically, has not completely taken over the United States as far as a dictatorship is concerned, is because, one, the people are pushing back. The corporations want complete and total control over your internet, over your phone, over everything. How far you can drive. They want to tax you per mile. They want to do it all because they want all the money for themselves. In other words, if you make $1,000 a month, or if you make $2,500 a month on a paycheck, and you're taking home $1,800, they want 90% of that. Okay, that's what the corporations want. They want their money back. In other words, we go to a corporation in your city, or we go to a business in your city that's part of a corporation. We pay to have that, whatever service or product they are selling. We have that in our possessions. Now that we have that in our possessions, we are now being taxed on that every time we either use it or have it or whatever. Can you say gasoline? Because you're being taxed every time you go and get gas, and you're holding on to it. So you're already being taxed per mile. Fill up your tank. Look at the excise tax in your state for gasoline at the pump. They should label it. It should be right there on the pump. Then do a test. Drive 100 miles. Find out how many miles you went, find out how many gallons of gas you used, and then calculate the taxes in that. Yes, you've already paid for that. Okay? So why are you being, in California, they're putting a bill through, or trying to tax drivers per mile. Okay? So, what? Excuse me? So anyway, yeah, it's, I don't know. Why are we politicizing morality? Because we have to put it in a niche to control it. Okay? And this goes way back to kingdoms and kings and lords and all of that. Go look it up. Startpage.com, go look it up. I mean, it's just, it's incredible. It really is incredible. So anyway, hey, I'm going to take a little break here, and I shall return. So if, like I said, I'm going to give you another, a matter of fact, I'm going to go at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to skip this break here. I'm going to go at the bottom of the hour. So like I said before, I'm going to give you a couple of email addresses. Jot this down. Put this in your memory. Free America Radio at unseen.is. Yes, Free America Radio at unseen.is. Free America Radio at unseen.is. Here's another one. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Shoot me some email. Let me know you got those. Anyway, what else? Yeah, point is, don't legislate morality. Moral issues and moral subjects need to be in the churches, and they are the ones that decide. Now, of course, they're going to start pushing for a theocracy like Mr., what's his name? Pat Robertson. And mostly all Christians want a theocracy. Go look it up. Go examine it. Startpage.com, put in this question. Do Christians in America want a theocracy? Go look it up. I mean, you're going to find a lot of articles about that. As a matter of fact, before I go to break at the bottom of the hour, let me go do that right now. Do Christians in the U.S. want a theocracy? There you go. You heard me typing. This is from forwardprogressives.com. Remember progressives. This is their take on it. Forwardprogressives.com. I'll put this for your reading enjoyment. I'll put this on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. Dear conservatives, if you want to live in a theocracy, get the hell out of the United States. So I'll put that one up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. Okay? Yeah, so there you go. That's only one view. Okay, in the comment section, I will put another article as well, and it says here, American Theocracy. This is from Bruce Gorley, Christian Nation, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. Let me see if I can go to it. The browser's being a little temperamental this morning. Well, how about this? Let's see if I can go here. Okay? See, I love this. It just doesn't want to work sometimes. Here it is. publiceye.org. Inside the Christian right dominionist movement that's undermining democracy. Christian right and theocracy. Yes, I'll put this one in the comment section on the one I just put up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. And let you take a look at that one. And I will put one more before I go to break here. Let me go back to the one that didn't seem to want to come up. There it is. American theocracy. Who is trying to turn America into a theocracy? You guys can read this. I'm just going to put it up for you guys to take a look at. But most Christians want a theocracy. They're so intolerant of anything. They don't want to debate anything because they think their point of view is the only point of view that everybody should ever have. I should know. I was a member of 2 Christian churches while I was living in California. Talk about intolerance. You know, I know within myself, following my own intuition, what is wrong and right. I know that I shouldn't go out and willfully just kill somebody because, hey, I just want to do it. I can't do that. You know, so, I'm just using that as an example. But the thing is that I have been around Christians most of my adult life, and I have found that they are most intolerable. You know, they are. I can tell you a story about that. Matter of fact, I'll tell you briefly after the break. Email me. You got the 2 email addresses? Yeah, go ahead and email me on one of those. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. And I'll give you the other one when I get back from the break. Right after this. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, and you're listening to the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here on Spreaker.com.
Take Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Ah, damn politicians. My mother always told me this country would be screwed if the liberals had their way. The only sanity I get is when I listen to Jeff Wagner on the Conservative Voice, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. Hey, welcome back, folks. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I'm your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. The 20th of July. Did I want to say July? No. No. The 20th of November, 2014. Hey, yeah. So, let's see. There's so much going on that I think we've been, well, it's a Cloward and Piven type of overwhelming situation. I was going to talk about something, but I'll switch gears. I'll go here. Because it's important to tie together the intolerance of people to what is actually happening in our country today. So let me go off into this direction. And let me tell you this. The situation that we are currently in, and I'm kind of I'm bothered by how intolerant people really are. Yeah, it's a thorn in my side. That's one thing. The other thing is how ignorant they are to their own intolerance. That is just, I'm you know. So when you look at this, when you look at Washington, D.C., and you see what's going on, and you see all of that happening, and you see just how they're bullying the general public, I'm wondering why the hell is the general public putting up with this bull crap? They shouldn't tolerate that one bit. Should they? Or would it be possible just to go along to get along? I think as far as I'm concerned, no, you need to step up to the plate and tell people, especially the so-called leaders in your area, nationally and locally, that you're either going to do what we, the people, tell you to do under the Constitution prior to 1871, or we'll accept your resignation in 72 hours. I mean, that's good, honestly, that's good in a utopian society where everything is perfect and everybody's happy. But you see that the corporations own your state capitals. The corporations own your politicians. So when you walk into their office and you go in and you tell them exactly what needs to be done, and you tell them that if they don't do it, they're gone, you're not going to be able to do this, okay? Because there's going to be these officers of the corporations called law enforcement to stop you from doing that? Well, the only other thing that you can do is declare a citizen's arrest against your whole city council. And you need many, 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 many people from the general public to go and do this. Once you do that, you're going to open up a whole file full of corruption. They don't want that to be exposed. But when you declare citizens' arrest against any number of your politicians, then you can go down and at least file in the court a document, and I can't remember the name of it. You're going to have to check with your own clerks down there in your courthouses. But it's basically a demand from the courts themselves for the city council to open up the books, to audit the books. It is a court, from what I understand, I'm not a lawyer, you need to check this out yourself. But it's a document, and I can't remember the name of it, where you can literally have the courts demand that the city council open their books. Okay? You go talk to your own attorneys, you go talk to the city, whatever it is you want to do. Don't talk to the city if you're, but talk to the courthouse and find out what you can do. They usually have attorneys there that are willing to help out the general public for free, from what I understand. So you may want to check that out as well. But yeah, we need to do more to really... Well, we need to call our politicians on the carpet. We need to open their doors and just say, look, we caught you with your hand in the cookie jar. You're going to have to leave now. We're going to have to do that because we cannot tolerate this anymore. Okay? We cannot tolerate this anymore. And don't even listen to a politician who says that something ecumenical or something spiritual to the effect that they're going to tell you, oh, well, I'm a Christian and God put me here and blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to them. Okay? Just don't listen to them. There's many, many people who are unemployed in your area, and they would probably do a better job at governing the city or the county or the state better than these career corporate politicians. So think about that one. Sorry, got a little something going on. Anyway, I want to change gears now. And I want to... I want to change gears and go here. I'm going to go to the go-to site that I go to all the time. And I want to say, first of all, positive thoughts, prayers, and support go out to the family and friends of Master Director Mike Nichols, who passed away at 83. So keep him in your hearts, folks. Yeah, go look him up. Director Mike Nichols. Yeah. Billy Graham says, in our lawless and wicked age, we've taught philosophy of devil. Yeah, okay. We'll go from there. We'll check that out, of course, But here's the thing. We have this idea, this thought in our head individually. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I've seen this along the way, and that is we've structured our lives in such a way to where we're always out to please somebody else. But we never want to please ourselves. because we're always helpful, always, and that's positive in a way, until the other person takes advantage of you. Then, of course, that's not a good thing. But this country has been known to welcome immigrants. Does Ellis Island mean anything to you? And it is what it is. And we have, we have tolerated these people coming over here. Okay? I look at it this way. This country cannot sustain any more immigrants at all, ever. What part of $20 trillion in debt do you not understand? As a matter of fact, it's a bigger number than that. It's cruising somewhere close to about $80 trillion. Okay. Over at dailycaller.com, Obama's amnesty will add as many foreign workers as new jobs since 2009. This is from the Daily Caller. Okay. This is from the Daily Caller. Neil Monroe, White House correspondent. Thank you, Neil. President Barack Obama's unilateral amnesty will quickly add as many foreign workers to the nation's legal labor force as the total number of new jobs created by his economy since 2009. The plans, expected to be announced late November 20th, which is today, will distribute 5 million work permits to illegal immigrants and also create new inflow of foreign college graduates for prestigious salaried jobs, according to press reports. Obama has already provided or promised almost 1 million extra work permits to foreigners, while his economy has only added 6 million jobs since 2009. Under the president's new amnesty plan, that's what it is, folks, quote, up to 4 million undocumented immigrants who have lived in the United States for at least 5 years can apply. An additional 1 million people will get protection from deportation through other parts of the president's plan, unquote, according to the November 19th report of the New York Times. The 5 million total was attributed to, quote, people briefed on his plan, unquote, or his plans, the Times reported. The 5 million work permits will add to Obama's prior giveaways, which have provided work permits to almost 1 million foreigners. Since 2009, the U.S. economy has added only 6 million jobs, according to the International Monetary Fund. The total number of jobs rose from 139 million in 2009 to 145 million in 2014, according to the IMF. That's an increase of 5 to almost 6 million jobs in 5 years. Obama's administration claims it has helped create 10 million jobs. If so, he has given out 1 work permit for every 2 jobs created since his inauguration. So I'll put this one on the Wayne S. Pierce Show so you can read the rest of that. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that anybody would ever believe this president. It is. It's amazing to me that anybody would ever believe this president. I oftentimes think, who's worse, the president or the people who believe him? But then again, there are a bunch of his own people, Democrats, throwing him under the bus. There's a bunch of constituents, his voters from 2008 and 2012, who absolutely have turned their back on him. So they're not too crazy, are they? So anyway, that's going there. The I don't know. I don't know, folks. Now, let me go into this direction just for a moment. I got a few minutes left. Net neutrality has been on the radar. People don't like it. People need free and open internet, blah, blah, blah. And the president's talked about that as well, which I think he's lying through his teeth. But, From Bloomberg.com, hackers can steal data wirelessly from PCs that aren't even online. Gwen Ackerman wrote this. Thank you, Gwen. When governments, utilities, and corporations need to protect their most sensitive data, they create what's called an air-gap network. It includes storing information on computers that are never connected to the internet, an extreme method of isolation designed to prevent any chance of data leaking out. Air-gap networks were once considered the magic bullet for securing data, but researchers from Ben Gurion University in Israel have found a way to compromise those machines. Once a computer is affected with a particular kind of virus, hackers can trick the PC into relaying information that can be wirelessly retrieved from a mobile phone located outside of the room. The technology won't be used to steal something as innocuous as your Gmail password. This is some Mission Impossible stuff that a cyber espionage gang or state-sponsored hacker might use to access extremely valuable secrets. Quote, the scenario is that you go to a secure facility and leave your cell phone at the entrance, unquote, said Dudu Mimran, Chief Technology Officer at Ben Gurion Cyber Security Labs. Quote, the virus will send the data to your phone, unquote. Interesting, isn't it? Are we completely secure? Okay, are we? I don't know. That's going up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. It's incredible to me. It's incredible to me that I see people who are hell-bent on standing their ground on misinformation and being misled to believe all of that. I am just amazed that people cannot see through the bullcrap. Okay, I'm amazed. I don't know. I think people should be smarter than that. I think people need to pay attention more. I think there needs to be more of a I think people really need to just sit down, take a moment, and just say, what do I really know? And you'll find out you don't know a whole lot. But you've got, knowledge of this, knowledge of that, this, and the news says this, and this person said it. You've got all these bits and pieces, but are you going to put them together to see if they fit? And to see if they fit you and your beliefs? See, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. It's amazing to me that I find people, or I talk to people that just, I don't know, I get the impression they're not paying attention. So my suggestion is, please pay attention. You're gonna learn a great deal if you do. So, if you are, I applaud you. So great. So anyway, sorry, got up too early this morning. Facts are facts, folks. They're staring you in the face. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. All this stuff is out in front of you. Surveillance all over the city. I mean, you go look at it. Go downtown and you can point out the cameras that are in your city. Go to Las Vegas. If you live in Las Vegas, go check that out. There's cameras all over the place. It's almost like an episode from Person of Interest. I mean, think about it. You're not going to get away with anything because there's going to be cameras all over the place. So, I would like to suggest something. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You can do this. You don't have to do this. It's completely up to you. But I suggest you do your homework. I suggest that you take the information that I've given you, or the information that is on the Wayne S. Spear Show Facebook page, and check it out. I really think that you would benefit from that. But that's up to you. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to take the last break of the show. I don't usually do this at the 10-till mark, but show's over in about 9 minutes. But I'm going to take a slight break, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I shall return. The Pete Santilli Show on the Guerrilla Media Network, telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. GuerrillaMediaNetwork.com. Chris Ann Hall, Liberty's lobbyist. Go to Chris Ann Hall, KrisAnnehall.com, KrisAnnHall.com. Hey, welcome back. So, do we tolerate and compromise with those that we find morally wrong? We're not judges. Why should we do that? We judge the situation by the circumstances that we find ourselves in to better ourselves, not to coerce or suppress somebody else. We can work together and come together and say, hey, what would benefit the group? Instead of coming together saying, I'm the leader and this is how it's going to be done. You know, there are people out there like that, by the way. So what do we do? What do we do? I think what we need to do is, like I said before, take all moral subjects and issues out of Washington, D.C. in terms of judgment, in terms of dissemination, whatever, it is, whatever, we need to take all of those subjects that are not beneficial to the group we call the citizens of the United States, need to take those things that have been turned into politics, pull those out of the system, and give them back to the people. Okay? Morality, ethics, whatever you want to call it. We need to give that back to the people. Then we need to take and eliminate 75% of the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. Want to save billions, if not trillions of dollars? That's what you need to do. We don't need 535 congressmen and women. We need 150. That's, a representative such as your governor in your state. We need 2 other people below him, such as if you want to consider a quote-unquote 2-party system, then, But we need 2 other people along with him because we do have in each state, we do have a legislative, judicial, and executive branch. An executive, judicial, and legislative branch. There we go. And we have that. And we need 3 people representing those areas to be in Washington, D.C. Okay? 150 people. That's all we need. Oh, and by the way, don't make them career politicians. 6-year terms each, including the president. There you go. And no running for re-election. When you do your term, you can stay out for at least 4 years before you even decide or before you even qualify to run again. Okay? 4 years. Now, I say 4 years because you know full well that after a midterm, the ramping up, like right now, we've just passed the midterms. Right now, they're going to start ramping up the presidential elections of 2016. That's why I said 6-year terms, wait 4 years before you even go into, that qualification, to find out if you qualify for running it again. How do you know if you're qualified or not? The people. If they voted you out, you obviously are not qualified enough or didn't do what the people wanted you to do. So obviously, there you go. Now, we should not cater to those who just want to bully us and coerce us and twist our arm, and we need to step up and put them in their place. And if you don't know how, then obviously you need to go and learn. But we got to stop all this bull crap. Oh, and by the way, one last thing: voting doesn't matter. Like I said before, the two-party system that we currently have is bought and paid for by the same group of people, same investors, same foreign interests, and the positions that they are in are bought and paid for through special interests and lobbyists. So it doesn't really matter. So voting is pointless. So anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, please show me why. Free America Radio at unseen.is. Free America Radio at unseen.is. That's one of the addresses. For this particular website, you can go to thewaynespearshow.weebly.com. Get all the information there that you can. Even if you want to sponsor this show, you can do that. I'm not out to break your advertising budget, so it's really, really cheap. So anyway, the WayneSPearshow.weebly.com site. There's a backup site if you want to go to that as well. It's americanlibertyradio.wix, that's wix.com/ALR network. Let me say that one more time. americanlibertyradio.wix.com/ALR network. So that's the backup site. So anyway, folks, it's always good to put these podcasts together. I want to apologize for not having the Wayne S. Pierce Show live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Pacific, but we're scaling back some. But hey, never fear. I might pop in with a live show sometime. You never know. Go to the WayneSPearshow.weebly.com site for more information, and keep looking out on Free America Radio, or specifically the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, for more information as well. And folks, it's always fun. Email me, freeamericaradio at unseen.is, freeamericaradio at unseen.is, and go to the website, thewaynespearshow.weebly.com. That's the website, thewaynespearshow.weebly.com. So there you go. So I will talk to you guys later. Another podcast coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. Talk to you guys later. Have a great Thursday.